Hello children and welcome to your channel Sharda Educare, and in today's video we will be learning variation practice set 7.2 from class 8th. Let's begin children. You can see one table here. The table shows the number of rows and number of student. This is number of student. And here number of rows. Okay. Number of students in a row are 40. Then the number of rows are 6. When the number of students in a row are 10, the number of rows will be 24. When number of students in a row are 24, then the number of rows will be 10. If number of students will be 12, then the number of rows are 20. And number of students are 8, then the number of rows are 30. Let us multiply. What do I get? 40 into 6, 240. 10 into 24, 240. Then 24 into 10, again 240. 12 twos are 24, that is again 240. 8 threes are 24, that is again 240. So when we multiply these two values, the values which I am getting are same. So we come to the conclusion, when we multiply these two factors, we are getting the same number. And if we get same number after multiplying these two factors, that means the product of both is constant. Same number means constant. If same number means constant, that means these two factors are in inverse proportion. Inverse proportion. If in one row you make 40 students to stand, then the number of rows which we get are 6. Means if students are more, rows are less. If students are less, rows are more. Here, if students in one row is more, the number of rows will be less. So you see, if one factor is increasing, another factor is decreasing. Clear? So this kind of variation is called as inverse variation. We call it as inverse variation or inverse proportion. They are in inverse proportion or inverse variation. Let's move to the examples, children. If x varies inversely as y, then x into y will be constant. If there is inverse variation between two factors, and if you multiply those factors, then those factors multiplication will be equal to constant. Right now we saw the example. The product of both the numbers were, now only we saw that the product of both the numbers 40 and 6 were in, when we multiplied we got 240. Clear? So they are in inverse variation. So x inverse varies x inversely varies as y. How to write it? X varies. In the previous video I have explained what do you mean by this sign. This is a Greek letter, again I repeat, a Greek letter alpha used as proportional sign. X varies inversely as y. So if I want to remove this sign, what would I do to remove this sign? I will be introducing equal sign. So x is equal to k upon y. And what is k, children? K is constant of variation, as we did in direct variation. Okay, so k is a constant of variation. So what will happen? Y will go and multiply with x. So you will get x into y is equal to what? K, and k is constant of variation. So when there is inverse variation, then the product will be always constant. Clear? Here you can see one table, example based on inverse variation. You can see one factor here A, this is B, 6, 20. So if A varies inversely as B, it is given if A varies inversely as B. A varies inversely means what? A in inverse variation to B. Then complete the following table. And if there is inverse variation, then the product will be what? Constant. We saw it now. So product will be constant. They have only asked us to find out the table, complete the table, solve the table. They have directly given A varies inversely, find A into B. So A into B, 6 2s are 12, 120. Okay, so here I can do A is equal to K upon B, and what is K? K is constant. Clear? A will go with B, A into B is equal to K, and we will get the value of K. So here value of K is 120. Value of K is 120. The next part, A value is 12 and A into B is given 120. So we have got A into B, which is equal to 120. So when A is equal to 12, what will be B? Clear? Let us use this. A into B is equal to 120. A value is 12. In place of A, I will write 12 into B is equal to 120. 12 will go down in the denominator this side. B is equal to 120 upon 12. 12 ones are, that would be 10. So B value will be equal to 10. Now in this case, when A is equal to 15, we need to find out B and we need to find out A into B. Okay. We already have A into B is equal to 120. In this case and in this case, as A is inverse variation, A into B is equal to constant, which is equal to 120. Already we have got. So I'll be using that. A into B is equal to 120. So when A is equal to 15, what will be B value? Place the value of A in this. 15 into B is equal to 120. So B is equal to 120 upon 15. 15 comes down and 15 8s are 120. So here B is equal to 80 rupees, 80, and A into B is 120. In last case, already we have A into B again as 120. B value is given as 4. We need to find the value of A. So A into 4 is equal to 120. A is equal to 120 upon 4. 4 3s are. So A is equal to 30. Sorry, A is equal to 30, and here A into B is 120. So this is an example of inverse variation where A into B is every time constant and you can find the other values. You can pause the video and you can solve the sum, children. Let's move to the next example. Varies inversely to 1 upon D square. Okay. So let us see. If F varies inversely to 1 upon D square. Once we get inverse variation, immediately we have to solve. First try to convert this inverse sign into equal. So F is equal to, when I introduce equal sign in place of inverse variation, then what will I write? K upon D square. Clear? K upon D square means when I am removing inverse variation sign, I must introduce equal sign. Okay. So here F into D square is equal to K, and what is K? Constant of variation. It is constant of variation. So let us see what is given further. K is constant of variation. When D is 5, F is 18. So it's given D is 5. When D is equal to 5 and F is equal to 18. So let us find the value of K first. Okay. F is 18 into D square. Okay. D is what? 5. So 5 square, which is equal to K. 18 into 25 is equal to K. So 25 8s are. I'll multiply this side here so that you know how to multiply. I need to multiply 18 into 25. How this 25 came? 5 square. If it's square, it will be 25. So 18 into 25. 5 8s are 40, carry 4. 5 1s are 5, plus 4 9, cross. 2 8s are 16, carry 1. 2 1s are 2 plus 1 3. So 0, 9 plus 6 15, 450. So we got K value as 450. So here K is equal to 450. So we can write down the equation of variation from this. Here we have got F into D square is equal to K. So F into D square is equal to K means what? 450, and this is nothing but equation of variation. F into D square is equation of variation. Okay. We got equation of variation. Now let us see further. Find if D is equal to 10. When D is equal to 10, find F. We need to find out F. Okay. Let us place in this. F into D square. D square is what? 10 square is equal to 450. So F into 100, D square means 100, 10 into 10 means 100 is equal to 450. So F is equal to 450 upon 100. This 0 and 0 get cancelled. 45 upon 10. 45 upon 10, 0 and 5 and point will be here. So you will get equal to 4.5. So we got the value of F, which is equal to 4.5. When D is equal to 10. When D is equal to 10, F is equal to 4.5 we got. Now in another case, we have to find D. So D is equal to question mark. Clear? We know this is our equation of variation, children. F into D square is equal to 450 is the equation of variation. We will place the values. F is how much? 50 into D square is equal to 450. Now D square is equal to 450 upon this 50 will come down. 0 and 0 get cancelled. So what is D square now? 5 ones are 5 nines are. So D square is equal to 9. So D is equal to under root 9. See, when you remove the square this side, you put the root another side. So D is equal to under root 9. D is equal to under the root 3 into 3. 3 is 2 times, therefore it will come out of the root, and D value we got as 3. So when F is 50, D is equal to 3. D is equal to 3. Now we are beginning with practice set 7.2. Here there is an information given about the number of worker. Number of workers and number of days. So number of days are this and number of workers are here. Okay. When number of workers are 30, that time the days required are 6. If the number of workers are decreasing, Here it was 30 and now it is 20. So number of days are increasing. Yes or no? So when number of workers are more, number of days required are less. So when one increases, one decreases. So fill this table. First of all, we should know what is it. Here we can see if one quantity is increasing, decreasing, other quantity is increasing. When one factor is increasing, other factor is decreasing. Means here if 20 workers are there, number of days required are 9. If the number of workers are increased 30, the number of days required are less. Means if one factor is increasing, other factor is decreasing. That means there is a inverse variation between these two factors. The relation between the two factors is of inverse variation. So we can say that let the number of workers be n and the number of days be d. Okay. So let's write it here. Let number of workers be n and number of days be d. But by studying this table, we come to know the relation between these two is of inverse variation. So we can say n varies inversely to d. So we can say here n is an inverse variation to 1 upon d. Now we will remove the inverse variation sign and we will introduce equal sign. So when we remove the inverse variation sign, we introduce the equal sign. So what will come here? K upon d. And what is K? K is a constant of variation. So n is equal to K upon d. And what is so we can write n is equal to K upon d, where K is constant of variation okay. So n and d will be multiplied to one another. We will get nd is equal to k by the first value which is given here, or any value we can find out k value here. When n is equal to 30 and d is equal to 6, place the value over here. 30 into 6 is equal to k. 6 3s are 18, 180 is the value of k. Immediately once we get the value of k, we must mention the equation of variation. So take this, n into d is equal to k is 180, and this is your equation of variation. Okay. Once we got equation of variation, we can find all the values. Let us use that. ND is equal to 180, okay, and when D is 12, find n value. Let us place n into 12 is equal to 180. 12 will go down, n is equal to 180 upon 12. Let me show you the division here. 180 divided by 12. 12 ones are 12 minus 8 minus 2 6, 1 minus 1 0, 0 will come down. 12 fives are 60. So we get value of n as 15. So n is equal to 15. So when d is 12, n is equal to 15. Let's write the answer here. So what will be the value of d when n is 10? Here n is equal to 10. We need to find out d, this d. An equation of variation we know nd is equal to 180. So 10 into d is equal to 180. Now d is equal to 180 upon 10. 0 will cut by 0 and d value will be equal to 18. Okay. Similarly, we will find out what is the value of n when d is 36. Let us rub this part. D is given 36. We need to find out n in the last box. We know equation of variation nd is equal to 180. Now what is d value? 36. N into 36 is equal to 180. So n is equal to 180 upon 36. Now divide 180 by 36. 36 how many time will give you 180? Let us see 5 time if it is. Yeah, 5 6 are 30, 5 3 are 15 plus 3 180. See children, why did I do 36 how many time will give you 180? Because I know here 0 and 6 multiplied with 5 will definitely give me 0, 5 6 are 30. So therefore, I multiplied 36 by 5, 6 5s are 30, 3 carry, 5 3s are 15 plus 3 18, so 180. 36 5s are 180 minus 0 0 0. So when d is equal to 36, n is equal to 5. See, in every case we got here n is equal to 15, here d is equal to 18, this, then n is equal to 5, this. So you can pause the video and you can solve the sum and learn by heart the table of 12. Okay, every time I solve the sum and I am using the table, I am asking you all to learn the table. Find constant of variation. And write the equation of variation for every example. Only we need to find out the constant of variation and equation of variation. Let's start with this. The first one is P is in inverse variation to Q. So if P value is given 15 and P value is given 15, Q value is given 4, Then find the constant of variation. Let's begin with this, children. P varies inversely to 1 upon Q. So, you know, first thing which we will do is remove the inverse variation sign. So, I will be writing here P is equal to K upon Q. What is K? Constant of variation. So, when P is 15, Q is 4, find constant of variation value. P and Q will multiply with one another. So, PQ is equal to K, place the value. Here P is how much? 15 into Q. Q is how much? 4, which is equal to K. 15 4s are 60, which is equal to K. So, which we got here is the K value. Okay. In the first case, constant of variation, write the equation of variation. Now, once we get the constant of variation, let us write the equation of variation. This is a very important thing, children. Once variation is there, after sign of variation, go for the removal of the variation sign and put equal sign. And when you put equal sign, introduce the constant, and then if it is to be multiplied, multiply. If it is in direct variation, then divide it. And then after that, find the value of K, and after finding the value, write the equation of variation. So, once we got K value, let us write equation of variation. Okay. K value. So, PQ is equal to K. So, PQ is equal to 60, and this is equation of variation. Now, in second case, Z is in inverse proportion to 1 upon W. So, first thing I will do is removal of the proportional sign. So, Z is equal to K upon W. What is K? Constant of variation. Yes, constant of variation. So, W and Z will get multiplied. Z into W is equal to K. So, when Z is equal to, this is Z, when Z is 2.5, W is 24. So, let us write. When Z is equal to 2.5, W is 24. So, place the value in this equation. Z is 2.5 into W is 24, which is equal to K. Multiply 2.5 and 24. Let us multiply here. 24 multiplied by 2.5. 5 4s are 20, carry 2, 5 2s are 10, 11, 12. Cross, 2 4s are 8, 2 2s are 4, 0, 2 plus 8, 10, 4 plus 1, 5 and 1, 6. And here point is after one digit, so 60. So, K k value you got 60, but we also need to write equation of variation in this case. So ZW is equal to k, so we can write here equation of variation as ZW is equal to 60, and this is your equation of variation in case 2. Now we will see for case 3. Let us rub. S is in inverse proportion to 1 upon t square. S is in inverse proportion to 1 upon t square. If S is equal to 4, then t is equal to 5. Find the constant of variation and equation of variation. So here it is a direct proportion. We can remove the variation sign and we can write S is equal to k upon t square. Why did I introduce k? Because there is proportionality sign and I am writing now with the equal sign. So we get t square will go up and we will get S t square is equal to k. Now let us place the value of S is how much? 4 into t is how much? 5 square is equal to k. So 4 into 5 square means 25, which is equal to k. 25 4s are 100 is equal to k. You got k value, you can write down. What is k here? K is constant of variation. Okay, constant of variation. I never wrote here, I am writing it here. Constant of variation. Okay. Once you get k value, write the equation of variation. That is st square is equal to k. K is what? St square is equal to k, na? K is how much? 100. This is the equation of variation. Let us move to the fourth one. In fourth sum, x varies inversely to 1 upon root y. X varies inversely to 1 upon under the root y. X value, if it is 15, then y will be 9. So find the constant of variation and equation of variation. Let us rub this part. X varies inversely to 1 upon root y. X is equal to 15, y is equal to 9. Find the constant of variation and equation of variation. So first my step is what? I must remove the equation variation proportional sign. So x is equal to 1 upon root y. Root y, but here k upon root y. Okay, what is it? K upon root y. And what is k? Constant of variation. Now equal to root y will go with x. So x into root y is equal to k. Let us find the value of k. X is 15 into root y is how much? 9 is equal to k. 15 into 3 is equal to k. So k value we get 45. 15 3s are 45 na children. So we got k value. Now let us write the equation of variation. So we have x into root y, x into root y is equal to what? K, and k is 45. So this is your equation of variation. Okay, x into root y is equal to 45 is the equation of variation. We are done with second question, children. All the 4 sub questions we have solved. Move to the next question. Third question, the boxes are to be filled with apples in a heap. Okay, we have to fill the boxes with what? Apples. If there are 24 apples in one box, means if you are filling 24 apples in one box, then the number of boxes needed will be 27. We will require 27 box if there are 24 apples to be filled in one box. Okay, number of box which we will require will be 27. If in one box 24 apples to be filled, to fill the amount of or heap of apple which are provided into those boxes, we will require 27 boxes. Requirement would be of the box. Requirement of box would be 27. You understood or what, children? Means if there are like this heap of apples are there, so many apples are there, apples are not counted. Okay, so many apples are there, but we have to fill those apples into boxes. So it is decided that you fill, if we fill 24 apple in one box, then the total heap to be put into the box, we require how many boxes? 27 box. Okay. If 36 apples are filled in a box, then how many boxes we require? Now see, when you are filling in one box 24 apples, you are filling 24 apples in one box, then the number of box required are 27. So if you will fill in one box 36 apples, then the number of box required would not be 27, but it will be less than 27. Yes or no? Means in one box, if you can fill 36 apple, then the number of requirement of the boxes will decrease. Yes or no? So that shows that the number of boxes and the number of apples are in inverse variation. Because when we are increasing the number of apple in one box, then the need of the boxes to fill all the apples in the box are decreasing. So when one factor increases, other factor decreases, this shows that there is an inverse variation. So let us assume the number of boxes and the number of apple. Let x be the number of apples and y be the number of boxes. So children, you know now, x you have assumed as number of apples and y you have assumed as number of boxes. Clear? And we know there is an inverse variation between number of apple and boxes. So we can say x varies inversely to y. Okay. Now we will remove the inverse variation sign. X is equal to k upon y. And what is k? K is constant of variation. We can write here k is constant of variation. X will go and y will go and multiply with x. So you will get x y is equal to k. Now when x is equal to 24 and y is equal to, when 24 apples are placed in one box, that time number of boxes required are 27. So we can get the value of k. X value is 24, so 24 into y value is 27 which is equal to k. Now we will multiply these two quantities. I will multiply it here, children, so that rest of the board we can use. 24 multiplied by 27. 7 4s are 28, 2 carry, 7 2s are 14, 15, 16, 2 4s are 8, 2 2s are 4, then 8, 6 and 8, 14, carry 1, 4, 5, 6, 6, 4, 8. Okay. So we got k value as 648. Now after getting k value, we must write the equation of variation. So our equation of variation is we know we have got xy is equal to k here. So we will write xy equal to k, where k value is 648. Place the value here. Xy is equal to 648. This is our equation of variation. Okay. Now it is said that if 36 apples are to be filled in one box, then how many boxes we will require? Now number of apples in one box to be filled are increased. Earlier it was in one box, how much it was? 24. Now we are going to fill in one box 36. So how many boxes we will require to clear that heap? Let's say x is equal to 36. We want to find out y, number of boxes required. Then we know this equation, x is 36. (36) into y we want to find out is equal to 648. So y is equal to 648 upon 36. 648 can be easily divided by 36. So let us divide it here. 648 divided by 36. 36 twos are will be 72. Here it is 64, so we will write 36 ones are minus. We will carry 1 from here because it is 4, and here it will be left, it will be 5. 14 minus 6 will be 8. 5 minus 3 will be 2. Now we are going to bring 8 down. We have here 288. So in 36, how many time will be 288? 36 8s are. Let us see for 36 8s are. Now children, how do I know 36 8s are will be 288? Let us see whether it is there or not. 6 8s are 48, 4 carry. 8 3s are 24, 24 plus 4 28. So 288 we got. Because what I was doing, children, I was multiplying 6 with 2 3. See, if I multiply 2 with 2, it will be 6 2s are 12. 2 will come here, but here what is there? 8. 6 3s are 18. 8 is there, okay, but 36 3 time will be not 288, okay. 6 4s are 24, then 6 5s are 30, 6 6 are 36, again 6 will come, then 6 7s are 42, 2 will come, 6 8s are 48. So therefore we got 28. So I checked directly with 8. 36 8s are 288, 2 minus 0 0 0, and we got 18. So here the value of y which we got is 18. So when we are filling 36 apple in one box, that time the number of boxes which we require, which we will need, will be 18. Okay, and when we are filling 24 apple in one box, that time we require 27 box. So when this is increased, the number of boxes have decreased. Okay, let us go for the next question, children. Write the following statement using symbol of variation. We need to write down these statements using symbol of variation. First one, the wavelength of sound is L and its frequency is, wavelength of sound is I and its frequency is F. They are in inverse variation. So given wavelength is equal to I and its frequency is F, okay, inverse variation. Both the quantities are in inverse variation. I is in inverse variation to F. So I will write here I varies inversely to F. Clear? So this is what they are asking you, just to write down the statement using the symbol of variation. This is the first one. But you know, whenever, just for your practice, you can do it. Whenever inverse variation sign is there, you can write I is equal to K upon F, which is constant. K is constant. Clear? And F will go here. I into F is equal to K. Fine. Now second one is this. The intensity I of light varies inversely. I varies inversely with the square of the distance, 1 upon square of distance. Clear? So I is equal to K upon D square. D square will go up. I D square is equal to K, where K is constant of variation. Now K is constant of variation. We are done with this. Only two sums were there. Let us move to the next question. X varies inversely to 1 upon root y. Okay, it's directly given. X varies inversely to 1 upon root y. Okay, first thing what we will do, remove the inverse variation. Clear? So what will come? X is equal to K upon root y. Root y will go here. X root y is equal to K. This will be your constant of variation. This is here constant of variation. When x is equal to 40, x value is given as 40, then y is equal to 16. Okay. So, if x and y is given, we can find out value of k. X is equal to 40, y is equal to 16. We can get the value of k, x root y. X root y is equal to k. X is 40, root y means 16, which is k, and you are getting 40 into 4. Root 16 is 4, which is equal to k. 4 4s are 16, 160 is the value of k. Now we can write, after writing the value of k, we should always mention the equation of variation. So what will be my equation of variation now? X root y is equal to, k is there, k means 160, 160, this is the equation of variation, and I must mention it here, equation of variation. Once we got equation of variation, let us move further. X is given 10, x is given 10, we have to find out y. We know equation of variation, x is root y, x is equal, x root y is equal to 160. Place the values. X value is 10, 10 root y is equal to 160, root y is equal to 160 upon 10, 10 comes down, 0 0 get cancelled, root y is equal to 16. We will be squaring both the side. On squaring both the side, now why are we squaring both the side? Because we want to remove the root, and this root can be removed only by squaring both the side. So root y square is equal to 16 square. What are we getting? Now root y square means y, root y square means y is equal to 16 into 16, and 16 into 16 is 256. So y value is 256 when x is 10. Now let us move to the next question, children. X varies inversely as y, given x varies inversely as y. If inverse variation is there, immediately children, you know we have to remove this inverse variation sign and put equal. So x is equal to k upon y. What is k? Constant of variation. Constant of variation. Okay. Now y will go with x. So x into y is equal to k. It is given that when x is 15, x is equal to 15, y is 10, place the value and we will get the value of k. X 15 into y, y is 10 is equal to k, that is 150, which is equal to k. Once you got the value of k, write the equation of variation. So So xy is equal to k. K, what is k? 150, 150, and this is your equation of variation. Okay. Now, if x is given 20, when x is 20, find the value of y. Okay. Let us place this in this equation. X is 20, 20 into y is equal to 150. Then y is equal to 150 upon 20. 0, 0 get cancelled, and we have to divide 15 by 2. Let's divide, children. I want to divide 15 by 2. So 2 7s are 14, minus 5 minus 4 0, 1 minus 1 0. 5 minus 4 1. Now there is no further numbers, so I will increase 0, but I will see to it that there is a point decimal. So 2 5s are 10. So y value we got is 7.5. This is the final answer. So children, we are done with the 7.2 exercise, and now we will be moving for 7.3 exercise in the next video, children. Now what you need to do, as I say every time, practice the sum as many times as you can. Like the video, subscribe my channel if you have not subscribed, and share my video, children, and also press on bell icon. Thank you, children, for watching my channel.